All right, hello, hi everyone. With the end of the month of January, I have finished the entire Maze Runner series, so the original trilogy and the two prequels, and I wanted to tell you what I thought of the books, my honest review of the Maze Runner series. Starting with book one. For some context, I watched the movies first. I didn't find out there were books until after I had watched the movies, and then I was horrified at myself because my rule is you read the books, then you watch the movies. For the first book, I think the movie followed the first book really well as a movie can when the book is written in a very limited perspective of one character. There are obviously a lot of differences between book and movie. The biggest difference between this book and the movie was Gally. I think he was the character that was the most different. In the book, he's just super antagonistic. I mean, he is in the movie, but so much more so in the book. Another difference that I found really interesting was the fact that they already had the serum for when someone got stung. They were like, oh no, we know they get stung, we give them this. It's not something that is new and arrives with Teresa. Speaking of Teresa, her entrance in the book is so freaking creepy. If I was a member of the Glade community and someone came up in the box and their first words were, everything is going to change, and then they probably fell over, but their arm went straight up in the air, and then they had the note, she's the last one ever, I think I would lose my mind out of sheer panic. Another thing was the difference between Gally's motivations for trying to kill Thomas in the movie versus the book, because in the movie he'd gotten stung and was kind of going nuts, but in the book he's already been stung before Thomas arrives. He's gotten glimpses of the past and knows Thomas for who he actually was. At the end, instead of trying to kill Thomas because he's going crazy, he tries to kill Thomas because he's forced to by Wicked. The same thing happens with Albie. When the Gravers attack, they control his mind to burn the maps. When I read it for the first time, even with the context of the movies, I was like, what? Why would they do that? Why would they do that on purpose? I love so much that my favorite character gets so much page time in this book. My favorite character is Mino, for those who don't know. Then we get to the second book, in which you find out about the blueprint and the variables. In the movie, they have no idea what's going on. They find out through their own devices, oh, this is Wicked. But in the book, they know it's Wicked. They're told from the get-go. It's hey, we're Wicked. We technically own you guys, so you're going to do what we say. I think the funniest thing was Jensen's introduction, because they call him the Rat Man. Well, Thomas calls him the Rat Man. Thomas calls him Rat Man all the time. He even carries it into book 3, and I find it the funniest thing because he's like, yeah, I know your name. I'm not gonna call you by it. I like Thomas in the books so much more than I like Thomas in the movies. It feels like he has more personality, more he's not the generic fill-in-the-blank YA hero. He's not the oh, I'm gonna give an inspiring speech at the end of book 2 kind of thing, like he does in the movie. He's very much like, I'm a kid, I don't know what's happening. For some reason, I have to keep making decisions, and I hate it. On page 15 pages into the book, we are told that Teresa is the betrayer. In the context of the movies, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. She betrays them so many times. Like, she betrays them once in the movie. She's like, hey, Wicked, we here. In the books, she just betrays them again and again and again and again. And every time she's like, I didn't have a choice. And I'm like, girl, you always have a choice. Always have a choice. Even if you don't think you have a choice, even if these people raised you, you still have the choice to not do everything that they tell you to do. Yeah, they can control your mind, but you can choose not to do it of your own free will. You can say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be the one to make the choice to betray my friends. And if they make you do it anyways, then that's different. If they have to control you in order to make you betray your friends, that's one thing. But if you choose to betray your friends, like, you are in my black books immediately. Also, the thing that really freaked me out was that Brenda and Jorge aren't like these vigilante kind of people like they are in the movies. Like, they work for Wicked. And I was like, say what now? Brenda called Wicked? Ow! Joy! And then, with the introduction of Group B, the other maze, Group B worked together a lot better than Group A. I promise I'm not being sexist, but I think the girls had it together a little bit more. It might have also had to do with the fact that Teresa was there, and Teresa seems to snap everybody into line, make sure everybody sticks to what they're supposed to do. And I have no idea, I genuinely have no idea how Thomas convinced them not to kill him, even though that was their mission. Like, he sucks at persuasive speeches. I think Book Thomas is the perfect epitome of a 16-year-old boy confronted with a group of girls who want to kill him. Like, he says some dumb stuff, and somehow it works, because plot, obviously. Like, he's the main character, he can't die. My favorite part of the entire series, actually, was the telepathic communication. It was really weird. At first, I was like, say what now? She can talk in his head. What? Who wants someone who betrayed them to be able to talk to them in their head? Like, that would be so annoying and so frustrating. But then you have Eris, who also has the telepathy that connects the three of them. He's known Teresa for what, a week? By like the beginning of the second book, he hasn't met Eris. This is what annoys me the most about the telepathy. It's really cool, but I feel like Thomas inherently trusts Teresa and Eris because of their shared like mind link kind of thing, even when they betray him, even after they like shut him in that box because Wicked told them to. He's mad at them, but I get the sense that he still trusts them. And I think Mino picks up on it. He's like, I thought we were staying mad at her. Like, I thought she was the bad guy. Like, why are you trusting her like this? To be fair to Teresa, she does help them out with like that fight at the end of the book with like the lightning and the creatures Wicked created. But then I just don't like Teresa. Like, I feel like Teresa is a good character in that I don't feel pity for her. My thing is, I try to legitimize the villain's point of view a lot of the time. Like, oh, like someone hurt them, or they're trying to get revenge for their family dying, or whatever. No, Teresa's just like fully bought into the Wicked propaganda. Like, the last thing she says in book 2 is, Wicked is good. And she keeps saying that over and over and over again. Like, she genuinely believes it, which is weird, because earlier in the book, when she and Eris force Thomas into the box because Wicked tells them to, she acts like she's scared. I think she was genuinely scared of what would happen if she didn't obey them. So I don't understand how she can be scared of Wicked and yet at the same time genuinely think they're good people. Because if you think someone is a genuinely good person, you're not going to be scared of them. You expect them to show empathy, show compassion, show mercy because they're good. If you're scared of someone, that means you are afraid that they will do something horrible to you. Something that someone good would not do. So for her to be scared of Wicked and yet at the same time say Wicked is good is really confusing for me. And I don't really know which side of her to believe. Because, right, her fear seemed so real. Obviously, she's a very good actress. She lies so much. Earlier in book 2, when the boys are out in the Scorch and they come across Teresa in like that house, she pretends like she was under mind control when she really wasn't. So I'm more likely to believe that she's brainwashed into the Wicked propaganda and she's pretending like she's afraid of them, because if she really was afraid of them, she wouldn't believe that they were actually good. Also, the second book is so different from the second movie, but the main difference, I think, is they know it's Wicked, they know Wicked's experimenting on them, and they go along with it anyways, which is really different from the movies where they were like, nah, screw you, Wicked, like, we don't want anything to do with you. And then, like, so they're back with Wicked at the end of book 2. And then you have book 3. They're straight up like, hey, so we told you last book, everybody's got the flare in your group. And now, surprise, some of you are immune, some of you aren't. And, to those of you who aren't immune, sorry, sucks to be you. Like, what the heck? Like, it's just, I genuinely don't understand how they would think it's okay to purposefully infect people who are going to die from it. It's just like what they did when they spread the flare initially. They were like, nope, it's gonna kill them. It'll be great. And they're doing the same thing again, even though they're like, we're better people. You're not better people. I did like it better than the system of how they got, like, sick or infected in the movies, where it was like a typical zombie thing where, like, oh, if you're bitten, you turn into one of them. In the books, they're like, no, the immunes were already infected with the flare, like when they were really, really young, but they're immune. So, like, the flare is still in their bodies, but it's not affecting them at all. Whereas, right, like, Newt gets sick because Wicket infects him. And, like in the movie, I was like, how did he get bitten? Like, when did that happen? Whereas in the book, I was like, nope, he's sick. He's going to die. Oh, crap. I mean, like, obviously, I knew he was gonna die because he died in the movie. And I heard from a friend that he died in the books as well. But his death, holy crap. His death in this book. Oh my gosh. I don't usually cry while reading. Like, I read really fast, but with reading, I can, like, slow down, back up, reread things. I feel like sometimes it doesn't hit me as hard. But oh my gosh, I cried. Like, Newt isn't even my favorite character, but he was such a sweetheart, even though, right, he was kind of grumpy and grouchy and really harsh on the surface. He's really a sweetheart. And, like, just the way he died was so horrific. And the flare slowly, like, takes away the logical parts of you. Seeing that happen to Newt, to a character that I genuinely did like, even if he wasn't my favorite, was just so heartbreaking. Just seeing him degenerate in real time and shutting people out and feeling like he was the only one because he was surrounded by immunes. And then his note to Thomas. I thought it was going to be like the letter he left Thomas in the movie, but it was so not. It was so dark. Just like, kill me, you'll know when. It's like, bro. And then Thomas does it. Like, he actually does it. I don't think I could have done it. Even if it was someone who'd never passed up an opportunity to make fun of me or talk down to me a little bit. Like, I could not have done that. I could not have killed them. Even, like, if they're going crazy, if they were dying, like, even if it was what they wanted, I don't think I would have been able to do that. Anyways, moving on from depressing subjects. Just kidding! Let's talk about Teresa's death. Because in the movie, I'm like, oh, in the movie, there was so much time that she had to jump from the building into the Burg. The building was not unstable yet. They were close enough. She could have made it. She might have gotten a little burnt, but she would have been fine. So that was really unrealistic for me. And I was really mad about it. I was like, doesn't make sense. In the book, the ceiling falls on her. I was like, okay, yeah, there's no way you're walking away from that. I really liked that it kind of, like, came full circle where, right, like, they had to go back in the maze, but they do it not because they have to, but because they want to, because they want to save these people that Wicket has captured. think that's something that reflects through the entire series. It's just like how selfless Thomas is. He makes the best decisions he can for other people without being annoying about it. He thinks that anyone in his position would do the same things. And I think that's why he's able to persuade people. Even if, like, he doesn't phrase things the right way or he sounds kind of dumb, I think his belief in what he's saying still comes through, even if his language is lacking a little bit. So even though Mino is technically designated as the leader, Thomas takes up a lot of the leadership because of his really strong beliefs. And that stuff makes sense in the books, right? You can see it. You can see him growing into someone who is like, no, I recognize this is wrong. No, I'm not going to support this. Yes, I'm going to keep saying, I don't want this. No, I don't want my memories back, because what if that changes my beliefs, right? What if before I believed, like Teresa, that you guys are good? Because now I know you guys are not good. No, I'm going to stay ignorant, per se, so that I can continue believing what I know to be right, what I know to be true, and I'm not going to let you mess with my head. My initial thoughts on the trilogy as a whole. I liked the way it was kind of left open-ended. I kind of want another book. Like, I want to know how they, rebuilt their lives, rebuilt human civilization. So I think that could be really, really cool. But no, we didn't get sequels, we got prequels. So the Kill Order. When I opened this book, I had no idea what to expect. Like, I was like, when is this set? What's going on? Based on the title, I was like, oh, this is probably when they released the flare into the world. And it was. And holy crap, so many people died. I feel like this story was so much more compelling than the original trilogy. The characters felt a little more real. It might have to do with the fact that they were older, so they felt more weathered, more experienced, especially Alex. Or Alec, I forget. I think his name's Alec. Yes, his name's Alec. Pardon me. I love the relationship between Mark and Trina, like how they go from best friends to something more. I wouldn't necessarily call them lovers because I don't think they ever went there. Who knows? All the relationships in this book are really well crafted. Like the relationship between Mark and Alec, where it's like a father-son kind of dynamic. And then you have Mark and Trina, where they're really sweet and they'll do anything for each other. And then you have Alec and Lana, where they're like best friends and they have each other's backs and they trust each other with anything and everything. With the introduction of Dee Dee, sweet little girl, we're going to talk so much about her because the ending of the book, I'm taking deep breaths so that I don't go on a rant, because I totally can. Because for most of the book, I'm like, oh my word, my sweet little girl, she was abandoned by people. She's an immune, which is awesome, cute, amazing. And then like the rescue mission, I was like, yay, we rescued Dee Dee, yay, we can protect Dee Dee, even though we all have the flare and we're all dying, yay. The end of the book, when we find out that Dee Dee turns into Teresa, I lost my mind. I swear I lost my mind. Because how did sweet little Dee Dee, who had so many people sacrifice for her in order to let her live, how did she look at all that and decide, nah, I'm gonna betray people. Like, I'm gonna betray the people who trust me. They always came for her, they always protected her, and they gave their lives so she could be safe. And then she turns around and betrays the people who trust her. Which, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, I love Dee Dee. I love the character of Dee Dee in this book. I hate that she turns into Teresa. At a certain level, I can understand. Children are a product of nature and nurture. Right, so in this book, Dee Dee was nurtured in a very sweet, loving, protective environment. Other than the beginning when her family abandons her. But that's the past. Mark and Trina and Alec and Lana do so much for Dee Dee. And then once she goes to Wicked, right, she's brainwashed into thinking that they're the ones who saved her. Like, I don't know if she even remembers by the time the next prequel book happens that Mark and Trina and Alec were the ones who saved her. I think she genuinely believes that Wicked were the people who saved her, and that, like, the only person she can trust is herself and Wicked. Stupid. Anywho, I loved it. I cried. I don't like that Dee Dee turned Teresa, but you can't have everything you want. You can't have everything you want. Just where this book comes in. I hate it. Like, with the kill order, I hated it in the most affectionate way possible. With Fever Code, so much despicable behavior. First off, starting off with Newt and Sonia. Starting off with their parents dying and them getting taken in by Wicked. And Newt is taken in only because they want to add, like, a control to the experiment. I love the story of the siblings where Newt goes over to the girl's side in order to be able to see her because he loves her and wants to make sure she's okay. And the way Thomas gets Newt alone with his sister before, like, he's sent into the maze. My heart. It was almost surreal to, like, see Albie and Newt and Mino and Callie. Yes, Callie. Oh, don't like it. Anyways, it was interesting to see all of them with, like, all their memories. I definitely do not agree with the swipe, with Wicked erasing all of their memories, but for some of them, especially Mino, my poor baby Mino, I think it was best that their memories were erased and then they didn't want them back. Like, I'm so grateful after reading this that Mino chose not to get his memories back, because poor boy was traumatized so much for no good reason. Like, yeah, he tried to escape because you're holding him prisoner. And he tried to get the others to go with him. No, they didn't listen to him. But, like, he's a kid. They're all kids. They don't want to be locked up. I hate that Gally pretended to be a friend and then betrayed Mino. I mean, I guess I should have expected it with how much Mino and Gally seem to hate each other in the first book. Right, like, they just inherently don't trust each other. This explains why. Even without their memories, they remember that that guy betrayed you and that other guy hit you in the face because you betrayed him. They have this sense of, I'm not supposed to like you, so they don't. Seeing how he and Teresa helped design the maze and monitor the glade, it was very helpful background information to have to explain the way he reacts in the first book. I shouldn't have been surprised at this part, but I was so surprised when they were like, hey, just kidding, we're gonna take your memories anyways, when he and Teresa propose the plan that they get sent to the maze, and Teresa's in on it. It's like, yeah, Teresa's in on it! And then to find out that she actually has her memories the whole time. She has her memories in the first book, in the second book, and she just pretends to have gotten them back in Death Cure. How dare you? As Brenda says in this book, there could be something more between the two of you. And Thomas is thick-headed. He's like, yeah, I think not. She's like my sister, she's my best friend. How could you betray someone who's like your brother, like your best friend? I just don't get it. I really don't. Anyways, so that is my thoughts on the 5 books in the Maze Runner series, the trilogy and the 2 prequels. I definitely enjoyed reading them. Yes, I read them very fast. Some of them I read in a day. I am still a firm believer in books are better than movies, because these books are 100% better than the movies. I think I would have been disappointed if I had read the books first and then watched the movies, but right, with the way I did it, I think I can appreciate both still. So maybe it was okay to, have watched the movies first and then read the books. Don't generally recommend it, but maybe for this series. I am finishing up rereading the first book in the Wheel of Time series. If you guys would like a review on that, I would be happy to do that. Also, let me know in the comments what book series you would like to see me check out. If I start a new book, I will post about it as I'm reading, give updates on like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that would happen, or oh my gosh, I love these 2 characters, or stuff like that. And it's just drop your recommendations in the comments and I will check them out. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next video, hopefully soon. Bye!